Good morning from Seoul, Korea. I knew I was coming to Korea, so I reached out to Zingifi. That's the Korean Red Ginseng tablets I've been taking and promoting. One of the founders agreed to do an interview with me, so I'm going to head over to meet him. All right, I'm here with Brian. He's one of the founders of Zingifi. That is a Korean Red Ginseng supplement that I've been taking, and he had sent me an email, I think it was in November, asking me if I'd like to kind of partner with them and try the product. And, you know, I get a lot of emails like that, and usually I just delete, but you know why yours kind of caught my eye?
Why is that?
Because I don't know if I told you this before, but my aunt, my mom's sister, and my mom's father, my grandfather, both in their older age got dementia really bad. And I had heard that ginseng is good for, memory, and I don't know if it relates to dementia or if that, is hereditary or what, but anything I can do that, helps sharpen my brain so, there's a possibility that I don't get that if I'm destined to get it, I'll try.
Greeny reached out to us. He has tried our product for how many months are you going on now? It's been about 4?
I think about 4 months, yep.
Yeah, and so that's the first thing. We want to make sure he likes the product and it's actually working for him. And Greeny, as you guys know who follow his channel, he's not out there promoting any product that comes his way. You said these emails come all the time, I'm sure. So
yeah.
I'm happy to make time to meet him with him today. He's a great guy. We've talked off camera, and I can see why you guys follow his channel. So.
In the video that I made kind of introducing the product to my subscribers and viewers, there was quite a few questions. And now, what is the difference between ginseng in America that's not from Korea, like American or Chinese ginseng, compared to Korean ginseng?
Okay.
Or can you explain some of the differences between different types of ginseng?
That's a great question. So American ginseng, which Americans may have heard of, it grows, I believe, in the Midwest. Wisconsin, Ohio has some ginseng. In that area, Pennsylvania, that's American ginseng, and that is a different species of plant. And they look similar, the roots, they're both roots, they grow out of the ground. And then there, he said Chinese ginseng. Now, Chinese ginseng and Korean ginseng are the same species of plant, but Chinese ginseng grows in China. Korean ginseng grows in Korea. And both of those, that species is called Panax ginseng, which if you've heard of Korean ginseng, you might have heard that. You'll see that term out there as well. That's the scientific name. And there's also a Japanese ginseng, different species of plant, and there's another one that grows in Vietnam. Inside of these roots are these medicinal compounds, and Korean ginseng is known for having the most types of them and the most potent, the stronger. So it's a different plant, and Korean ginseng is just known for being stronger.
I'm taking these tablets, and it's like a powder in there, and I'm assuming like ground up ginseng.
The Zingifi?
Yeah.
The capsules, okay.
Yes, can you explain the process of how, how it goes from ginseng to red ginseng? Because I thought it was ginseng and red ginseng are two different species, but it's the same.
When ginseng comes out of the ground, this is what you would see in a market. It's called raw ginseng or fresh ginseng, and that is, to turn it into red ginseng, it goes through this traditional 1,000-year-old process of you steam it, dry it, and that's what turns it into red ginseng. And red ginseng is not actually red, it looks more like a brownish color. That is the difference between raw ginseng and red ginseng.
What's more potent, raw ginseng or red ginseng?
Red ginseng. So when it goes through that process to convert it into red ginseng, there's a biotransformation that takes place within the roots, and more active compounds are created, and the active compounds that were already there become stronger.
If there's some great companies, especially here in Korea, you were telling me about, and if somebody just randomly offered some random ginseng off Amazon that's from not like a well-known Korean company or just some random, this is our ginseng product, what could happen? Like, would it be like yours is full 100% ginseng, right? That's why I'm taking it. I mean, it's nothing but ginseng in the capital.
A lot of the stuff he specifically mentioned Amazon. So if you type in Korean ginseng on Amazon, we're not going to mention any names, but there's a lot of stuff that is just comes from China. So in a lot of these products you'll see on the bottle say made in USA, but there's really no reason to have Korean ginseng made in USA. So what these companies would be doing is getting some wholesale cheap ginseng that's not even tested. You don't know what's in it. It might not even qualify to even be called ginseng in Korea based off of how little of the active compounds are in it. That's what a lot of the stuff would
Now, will
be.
they put some fillers in sometimes? Some company, like you've obviously did your research.
Oh,
when you
yeah,
opened
yeah.
your company, you've tested other ginsengs.
And I would say, look, if you're taking any supplement, there's no reason for there to be rice flour or this methylcrystalline cellulose, because essentially you don't, how much of what's in the capsule is ginseng or turmeric or whatever the supplement is, and how much of it is rice flour, because you're not spending money to buy rice flour or anything like that.
Right.
So, yeah.
So Zingifi is...
Yeah, we don't use anything else. We just put ginseng in there. And that's actually, we will get into the questions, but that one that comes to mind is one of the comments on Greeny's video that he made for the review of our product. Some guy asked about the milligrams and doses. He says that's not on the website. So great point. I'm glad he's looking for that, but it is on our website. There's a big blown up picture of the supplement facts panel. And the other thing I would add to that is, remember, if you're going to be comparing something like I just described, and it might say 1,000 milligrams, 1,500 milligrams, well, how many milligrams is rice flour? How many milligrams is, some extraneous material or substance? And so, yes, ours is on there. But remember, with ours, that serving size is just ginseng. That's an important thing.
Talk a little bit about the potency, because one of your taglines is it's more potent. Can you explain how Zingifi may be more potent than, a basic ginseng you may find on Amazon or something else? What's potent about your product?
Yeah, that comes down to the quality of the materials. So those that scenario I described, getting some wholesale stuff from China, that potency is really unknown. We've actually sent some of those to the lab, and quite appalling what we found. But yeah, it comes down to the quality of the materials. And another important thing, ginseng roots need to grow in the ground for 6 years to be fully mature. And Korea has a whole system about that.
It's like gold here. It's very regulated. It's like...
Well, thousands of years ago, when you were trading, when people were bartering, that valuable. Yeah, I mean, just like any other crop, it can be turned into money, right? We make sure every batch is sent to the lab to verify the potency. And with health supplements, look, we can't guarantee that our product will work for you, but we can guarantee what's in it.
What is the FDA's part in, supplements or ginseng? Is it certified? Is it the lab, the factory? What are the actual, do they test every jar, or how does that work with the Food and Drug Administration?
Yeah, so health supplements, ours is an herbal supplement specifically, these are considered food products by the FDA, and they do not FDA does not approve any health supplements. What they do is make sure that the factory it's made in, it follows their regulations. So the factory would be approved, so to speak. But as far as the product itself, it's not just for our product, that's for any health supplement. It is not FDA approved.
Okay, yeah, I think I've heard
that's
that
how
before.
that works.
Has there been a lot of studies done on the effects, like what ginseng does for a person, what benefits it has? Can you talk a little bit about, how many studies have been done, how long have they been doing studies, and get into a little bit about what the studies have found? What can it do to help somebody live a quality life?
Greeny mentioned what caught his eye was the effects it has on the brain. And now ginseng is an elixir herb. So actually thousands of years ago in traditional herbalists, they used it to treat the entire body. So it has many effects. In the modern world, it's one of the most researched medicinal herbs. There are lots and lots of studies about this. Yeah, so we can get into some of these benefits in particular. There's a long list, but yes, it is studied, correct.
So some of the things that I read, so what are some of the published benefits of Korean red ginseng as far as what you've seen in the studies that you've looked over and researched? Because I did some research before. I wasn't going to just take something without researching it,
And you all should do the same thing. Absolutely. Research whatever before you take anything, yeah.
And I had seen that, it can help blood sugar, which that's not really an issue that I had. But like I said, the mental clarity, sexual health, it can help with that.
Brain, your heart, your blood sugar, blood pressure, it helps with stress. And we'll get into some of these, and I think this would be a good time to start looking at some of the comments and questions that people had left on this video. So I brought this up here. We'll just kind of go through these. Okay, I actually saw a few of these when I was looking about testosterone, and people saying that about the testosterone replacement. People left some comments about that. This is a good thing, it's probably a good part to start, because I'm not saying this is a replacement for that. Essentially, something like Zingifi is you can look at it as a daily vitamin to take, so where you wouldn't wouldn't be at the point where your body needs this unnatural replacement to be injecting into your body. So there are studies that the more levels of ginseng that were in a subject's body, that they were able to maintain testosterone. And another thing Greeny mentioned this in his video I saw that he made, is that it takes a while. This is not something you're going to take and then a week later everything's fixed. It's something you need to take consistently. And the effects are cumulative. It builds up and it keeps getting stronger over time. So, if you have needed this replacement thing, maybe it could help you if you start Zingifi now, and maybe next year you wouldn't need this. That would be a good thing to try for you.
Don't wait till it's too late. Keep a healthy lifestyle, take the right supplements, exercise.
Yeah, and there are other supplements that I like as well. Ashwagandha is a good herb. Turmeric is a great one. Turmeric and black pepper, if you mix those together, maybe in a smoothie or something, that's great for inflammation. So and Zingifi is, like I said, it's an elixir, so it's going to help with everything in here. And men, by far, sexual health is the biggest reason because that's a very urgent thing. So, and again, we were just talking about it's not something that's going to work, or it's something you would take and make it part of your lifestyle. So then you're never going to need something unnatural to where you're forcing a reaction from your body, like a very colorful pill, and that's only going to boost blood flow to one part of your body,
Right. And there's always possible side effects from taking a prescription.
Yes, and that's a great comment he just made.
So you're saying take it like a vitamin every day. Now, you can read some things online and it says to take for 3 months and get off. Can you explain that a little bit? Because I read a few different things that said that, and then people made comments, maybe you'll get to that, about it can affect your liver or it's bad for your blood pressure. Can you just address some of these? Are they myths? Is maybe some people it affects that way, some people, I don't know.
So that's a great thing he brought up, because you will see those comments or those there are websites that do say that if you search, Korean ginseng. There's no research about that. We aren't really sure where that came from, but there are no studies about, you should take it 2 months and then stop a month. There's no research. And the way it works is that ginseng, Zingifi and any other type of ginseng, is nobody absorbs 100%. And it all comes down to the compounds, which is those Chinese products I was talking about, that'll probably say made in USA. It's appalling that they don't even they have such a low level of these active compounds, because there's no reason to be taking ginseng if it doesn't have these compounds. And a certain percentage of it is going to pass right through to the toilet. It's not going to affect you. So it depends on
like a vitamin.
Yeah, it depends on how well. I can't speak to other vitamins. I only know about ginseng
in general. You piss out a lot of it.
And so the more your body absorbs, and nobody's going to have 100% absorption rate, the stronger the effects. And good time to mention this is the stronger your gut bacteria, the more you're going to absorb and the better the effects are going to be. And so that would come down to eating, foods high in fiber. Make sure you stay hydrated. Limit alcohol as much as possible, just because that kills gut bacteria. But we all like to have a cold one every now and then. And actually, as far as liver damage from alcohol, there are studies that Korean ginseng helps with that. It helps the enzymes that break down alcohol in your body.
So if you're alcoholic, this would be a good thing?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good thing to have in your long-term supplement regime.
I would say just don't drink that much. But can anybody guess how old this guy is? So take a look at him. Leave a comment. Guess how old this guy is, because I was surprised. I'll leave a comment later after I see what you guys guess. I'll tell you how old he is. But
I don't know if it's that surprising, Greeny, but let's see here. Some guy said, well, this is an interesting comment, Greeny. Does it affect the size of your loads?
That's one of my subscribers for you there.
So I don't know how much detail we should get into here, but there are studies about sexual health and fertility that it's used to that. But
so if you were trying to make a baby.
So, yeah.
Well, maybe not the sperm count, just the...
Well, no, I mean, that is a part of fertility. So if that were an issue for you, taking this, making that part of your daily routine could help. I can't promise it will, but there are studies that it helps with. And it's not just male sexual function, because a lot of ginseng's benefits come about from naturally increasing circulation. So he mentioned brain, and that comes from you have increased circulation to your brain, so more nutrients are going to your brain, more oxygen. Men notice it going to one specific region of their body, but that it's a natural boost of circulation. It's not something that just happens for 4 hours or that you need to do 45 minutes before you're ready to.
One of the first things I noticed, feeling a little bit lightheaded, and I checked my blood pressure and I'm like, holy shit, like my blood pressure was too low, and I take a blood pressure pill.
Oh yeah, we get a lot of those comments actually.
Yeah, so now I'm taking half. And my
That's
blood
great.
pressure's
That's
like
great.
right in the good range now. I've taken half of what I was taking before I started, ginseng.
How many months in were we when you reduced it to half?
It was about 3 months. It's been about over a month, about a month now since I lowered
awesome.
my blood pressure pill.
See, I didn't know that, and we've had other customers tell us the same thing, that it's really helped with that.
Yeah. Somebody, I don't know if it was a comment or I had heard somewhere like, oh, it can raise your blood pressure, but I don't know. Have you ever heard that?
I have heard that, and again, it's another thing we're not sure. You always want to see if there's studies about this, so if there's links to actual scientific studies that are not funded, by anyone with conflict of interest, and with any herbal supplement, or not even herbal supplement, any supplement or any drug or whatever. And so what Greeny just said, that's so great to hear, because now Greeny has less chemicals going through his body that are unnecessarily would be ingested otherwise. So that's amazing to hear that. I take a beet supplement, does the same thing, not expensive at all. Okay, so this is a great comment as well. So beetroot is a great thing to take. Now, I eat a lot of beets because it is great for your body. It increases nitric oxide, which significantly affects blood flow, and men notice it, of course, for one particular thing. But don't think of it as replacing, because remember, beetroot is not a medicinal herb, so it's not doing all these other things that Zingifi would do for you, right? And so I've never taken a beet supplement, but so whoever's taking this, I would say, is that beet supplement just beets? Just what we already talked about, actually, as far as other supplements go. But yeah, take them both. Savage Potion, if you have Zingifi as a daily routine and you're eating a lot of beets, you won't have any issues with blood flow.
If you could eat a great diet, that's good. You're going to feel a lot better.
I'm glad you just said that, eating healthy foods, because Zingifi is a whole food. We aren't extracting anything. A lot of ginseng supplements will actually take extract from the root. And so we are just taking the root and grinding it up. So you are actually eating a whole food when you swallow the Zingifi capsules. It's a whole food. And yeah, eat other great whole foods with that and your body will thank you. And this guy, another one, if it's anything but testosterone replacement or creatine, it's not gonna work. So there's science about this. And look, if a daily subscription of Zingifi, you make this part of your daily routine, and you don't have to do these expensive and unnatural procedures, like, I don't even know how it works actually, if they inject it or whatever, but that is gonna actually save you money. We got a great review from a guy who said he's tried lots of supplements for 30 years, and he said he tried about 10 ginsengs, and he really likes Zingifi, so. And I hope you guys like it as well.
You were telling me that you sent it to your mom before she knew you actually were starting this company, and you were using her as like a test dummy. What did you say?
Yeah, so when we knew how we were gonna make it and what it was gonna look like, we tried it ourselves, of course, and it's hard to, we don't want it to not work, right? So we had some family members, and it wasn't just my mom, another one of my partners had them take this, and didn't say we were behind it. We just said, hey, would you try this for us? Because, my mother in particular was struggling with blood sugar, and that's a key word I just said, was struggling with blood sugar. It was so bad, she was considered pre-diabetic and had the test where you, I don't know how it works, so you prick yourself through the blood and you can test at home, like that kit. And yeah, the doctor is now, she doesn't need to do that anymore, and it's cleared up. And funny enough, I just found this out last month, because she's been taking it for years now, but during that time, she actually was able to get off a blood pressure medication as well, which you made me think of it with what you just said.
When did you say, hey, that's my product? Like, when did you come clean to her that it was actually, your company, your product?
A good year.
Really?
Yeah, it was because, look, if she knew, her son was...
She might, in her head,
she would want it to work. And we're only concerned about the scientific results, and, when the doctor said, and then when she does the test and it is cleared up. So that was what we wanted to hear. Let's see this. Okay, gave it a shot. We'll report back with the results. We would love to hear your results. I usually do ginseng root and make a tea, but never felt anything. Hey, if you've tried ginseng, please try Zingifi. Give it a shot. This is because, of course, we think it's quite good, and
I think it's going to be a little bit more potent
than whatever this tea
quality
is. Yeah.
ginseng that you have than a tea. Probably not taking it every day. Probably not taking the right enough of it to really make you feel. What about like like I told you, I think my appetite. I definitely have lost a few pounds. And it could have to do with me having more energy and walking more and just more energy that I've lost weight. But it does seem like my appetite's a little less, like I'm not eating as much. You know, is there any studies about that?
So this is a great thing I haven't even mentioned yet. Korean ginseng, along with other herbs in nature, it's considered an adaptogen. Have you ever heard that word? No. Adaptogen. So these are herbs that help your body fight stress. Basically, all the processes in your body, it tries to get them into balance, okay? So that's why if your blood sugar is too high, it can help bring it down. If your blood pressure is too high, it can bring it low. And there are also studies that if it's too low, which is much less common, that it can bring it up to normal levels. So it tries to get everything into a state of harmony, right? And so appetite regulation, there are actually studies about that as well, and using it for obesity and stuff like that, so.
Do you cite some of the studies on your website at all?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
So on the website where there's a few sections where science, and if you click on it, it'll link down to the bottom, and then you can find those links, and we just chose some of them. There are many more. No Thailand distributor. At the moment, no. I know a lot of Greeny's viewers are in Thailand. It's a very complicated thing. We are sorry about that. Now, if you are in United States, well, all of our product ships out of USA, so you'll get it. Most of our orders come out of USA, so you'll get it within 3 to 5 days. Unless you're in Hawaii or Alaska, I'm sure other online shopping you do, you're aware of that. Be a little longer. Now, Australia, as far as international orders, we can ship anywhere in the world. If you're in Australia, Philippines, New Zealand, Singapore, Hong Kong, these are the ones I'm sure of. You're not gonna have to pay any extra taxes or import duties. Philippines, the order must be under $140. If it's above that, it could. Now, sometimes, for other countries, particular Thailand, it may go through and you might have to pay anything. Chances are you're gonna have to go somewhere and pay an extra fee, and that percentage, please double check, is gonna vary by the country.
Now, if they do order from one of those countries and they do have to pay that fee, do you know how much that fee would be?
No, because it's different for each country. Email our support team if you want to know, and we can try and look that up for you and help you. So actually, we got quite a few orders from Greeny's first video, and if you are in those countries, if you're not in the United States, not in Australia, not New Zealand, Singapore, Hong Kong, if you're not in any of those countries and you ordered Zingify, reach out to us. If you reach out to our support team, support@zingify.com, and you tell us what happened. Tell us what the procedure was. Did you have to go somewhere and get the product? How much was the duty, or what were you charged? And you tell us all of that, because we don't know, and you gotta realize that has nothing to do with our store. This is all, after you order on our store, transaction with us is finished. That extra duty is charged by the governments of those countries. And if you tell us, what they charged you, how you had to get it, we'll actually give you another 20% discount. The Greeny discount is only gonna work for your first order, but that's useful information to us. We'll give you another discount if you like it enough to order again, which we hope you will. Oh, okay. This is a great comment, and I'm glad this guy's thinking about it. I'll actually read this. It's not that I don't trust you, but your product is twice or more expensive than other red ginseng products. Okay, so first of all, let's stop there. It's a great comment, and this guy's, he's being a conscious consumer, so I appreciate this. What are you getting in return for your money? So as far as value, Zingify is gonna provide you a lot more value for the ginseng that you're getting. The ginseng that's not even tested, it's mixed with other fillers. How much in the capsule is even ginseng? What's the potency? You don't know. And let's say you get 1,500 milligrams of that. Well, but if you compare the potency in Zingify, let's say double, or we've even seen it's so big a difference that it could be like up to 40 times. Well, that's a much better value for your money, right? So you got to really you think about that.
Sometimes you get what you pay for.
You always, not sometimes.
And sometimes there's not quality. Not all.
And this is not just for ginseng, right? Anything in
not
the
all
world,
supplements are created equal. There's garbage and there's higher quality things. You got to do your research. And that's what I did.
Clothes and electronics, anything.
Everything.
But again, what's in that capsule? How much of it is rice flour, etc. Oh, this is a great comment. I think it's worth reading. I don't understand people posting. I follow many channels about Thailand and their experiences. Greeny gave his review on a product that he tried for 3 months before telling us, but people criticized.
I don't know. I'm in a lot of Thailand Facebook groups, and somebody asks a question or makes a statement or something, and about 90% of the comments are people trying to be funny, trying to make a joke or sarcasm, and I appreciate it. I do that sometimes.
But as far as the internet and engagement goes, you guys are actually helping him. You're leaving comments on his videos, so I'm sure he appreciates that.
And you know what? I'm a jabber. I poke people. I poke my girlfriend. I'm not. I'm Greeny. I'm an a-hole. I do like the way this product makes me feel, but I don't mind people jab me. I mean, that's part of. It's fun.
I like this one. Putting the zing back in the old zinger. Rest Smith team, we might use that. We love that comment. Thank you. You can take it in the morning or night. It has no effect on the effects. The benefit has nothing. It's not going to matter. I personally, every morning when I have my coffee. Oh, and that's another thing. Some people might think it would, let's like not work with coffee or whatever. There's nothing about that. And truthfully, because again, as you know, I'm interested in health and nutrition in general. Caffeine after, let's say 1 p.m. is gonna affect your sleep. So I personally don't have caffeine after that time, but there's nothing, you know, and you might even find, this was the first benefit I personally noticed after a few months on Zingifi, is no more feeling like I needed a nap later in the afternoon.
I've been sleeping south.
So if you're one of those people who maybe you get tired later in the day, you get drowsy and you go for a coffee, that's a vicious cycle. That's a vicious cycle because it's like a credit card, you know. You're gonna have to pay that interest back for that energy you get. Because
has there been any studies on helping complexion, like acne, like skin, or anything like that?
Yeah, because of the circulation, it helps hydrate the dermis of your skin. We've designed the product so since it's small, we can offer good discounts for we have multi-packs. You'll see the bulk packs, and you'll see it's much cheaper because it's a small product, and we can pass on those shipping savings to you.
If you want to order it, this is the link right here, and I'll put it in the description, and use the code Greeny.
How about your sleep?
Yeah, I mentioned before, I've been sleeping like a baby. I said that just quickly.
We were talking about the testosterone, and a big part of that is sleep, and that's why they all go together, and that's why, you know, Zingifi, don't think of it as just for one thing. It's and not even just for men. You know, we all need to sleep, and when as we get older, if you're struggling and not getting good quality sleep, that's really going to hurt your testosterone. And I would say, look into see how it helps you. And
yeah, I think certain supplements are all just part of living a healthy lifestyle. You can't just take this and eat McDonald's every day and drink beer every night.
Yeah,
you're probably not going to notice anything. I wouldn't think. I would think that this goes in line with exercise and diet, like exercise, diet, and taking the right supplements, that work for you. What works for me may not work for somebody else. I mean, I got to assume that this may have a different effect on every person that takes it. Maybe it helps in this regard. Maybe this helps. Maybe somebody with the sugar, it helps them. I don't have that issue. It's not, I don't think.
We all have different conditions, or our bodies are all different slightly. Right, of course. Right. This guy says sea moss. So I personally don't have experience with sea moss, so I can't tell you, but keep a close eye on your liver. Keep a close eye on everything as far as your health. Studies show ginseng really helps your liver because of it's got a very strong, high level of antioxidants. Oh, this is a good one. Our stomach or gut health is everything simply because it feeds our brain. That is absolutely right. Gut health is a vital part of just being healthy in general, and there are studies that ginseng, those medicinal compounds that we touched on, can kill the bad bacteria and help the beneficial probiotics in your gut. So it helps.
And you know what's funny? Gut. You know what's funny is by this part in the interview, only the people that are serious and really want to know about this stuff, like we've gotten so technical, I think, that all the haters are gone by now. So I appreciate you guys that are really interested in this, sticking around this long, because this went much longer than I thought it would.
And I was glad. I thought this was great. Greeny reached out, and I said, absolutely, we'll answer some of these questions.
I mean, it's just so odd. I mean, I've been wanting to go to Korea so bad for so long, and this is a perfect place to wrap up the video. All right, guys, if you enjoyed the video, give me a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. Greeny out.